Hunter,
Hunter,
it's not going to work.
it's not going to work. But it's going to work this time. I leave on Tuesday.
Wait a minute. Can we talk about this? Can we go on the record about this?
I mean, at this point, I really just don't care about their fucking non-disclosure agreements. And I'll probably end up telling you shit about Spartan Race that I'm not supposed to, just because half the shit that they don't want you to talk about never ends up actually coming to fruition. And then the other half of the shit is worthless.
So where are you going?
I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Germany to go compete in Hyrox. Like, I'm going to compete in Hyrox at their, it used to be, this is like my fourth attempt to go compete at their Hyrox World Championships. And it literally was supposed to be in April in Germany. And then it was supposed to be somewhere in July. And then it was supposed to be in October in London. And now we're going to Germany again. And there's only 6 athletes, male and female, kind of like the Spartan Games.
Can you name them?
I don't really know. I know Sam Briggs is supposed to be coming. I know that Adam Klink, that guy who did the back squat in the 5-minute mile, who I'm just going to stuff his fucking face into the dirt, is coming. Like Kent can't come. Woolley can't come. So it's like me versus like 6 Germans or 5 Germans.
Ooh, Hunter, I was so glad you can mix it up with us here in Germany.
Hunter, like our monochromatic outfits. You're intimidated?
We're going to get canceled by my German listeners. Come on, we do that with love. I grew up with both Hans and Franz and Dieter from Saturday Night Live. That's where I get all of my German. I don't think
people also don't know that I'm extremely German. Like, my brother's middle name is Garrett Wolf McIntyre. Like, my grandmother is just pure German.
Well, can we put a quick pause? So we are here to talk about the Spartan Games. And you said, I have 4 brothers?
I have 3 brothers.
Okay, so I don't know how I did not notice this part of your story, but where are you in the order?
I'm the youngest person.
Okay, so this explains an awful lot, Hunter.
And all of them are like the highest level achievers you can imagine. The oldest one went to law school, now works with my dad. The next one was meant to be a brain surgeon, went to Cornell, and he ended up cutting his arm, so he couldn't do surgery. Now he's one of like the top, what the hell do you call those people who don't do brain surgery but study your brain?
Neurologist?
Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, he's one of the top neurologists in the country. And my other brother runs one of the most successful hedge funds in the country.
Well,
and then I want to Mud Run fucking champ.
Mud Run champ. But I want to talk about young Hunter, because I watch firsthand Jackson just demolish his little brother because he can, because that's what brothers do. As a rule, that's what they do. So multiply that by 4 or by 3, right? Like the pounding. This is why the sheriff, the macho man reincarnate has been born. Is like you got to fight your way through. You got to fight to survive.
I was covered in blood and bruises at all times. My 2 oldest brothers were not nearly as bad. My oldest brother was the nicest. He was just like, I don't have time for this shit. The next one down was probably the most brutal, but didn't want to waste his time. And then the last one was just consistently a fucking dick.
Right.
And he's my closest brother. Like, he's an actual blood brother of mine. The other 2 were married in when I was 5 years old, but we all lived in the house together. So there's no fucking difference. Like, I didn't see any of them come out of the womb. So it doesn't matter which womb they came out of. They're all my brothers now, and they live in a house with me, and they beat me to death. And they weren't like bad brothers.
Well, of course not. They're just, that's what brothers do. Listen,
yeah,
it's a line though. Like, we know, there's a thing called sibling rivalry, right? So look at it this way, Hunter. I've got Emma, who's a girl, and then the 2 boys. And at any one time, any one of them might be starting a fight with the other. It's too easy at first to go, oh, the older one must be to blame. But then you realize the little ones pick and like, you know what I mean? So it's all a whole thing. I grew up, Hunter, you ready for this? I don't think people know this about me, even though I'm on a podcast 100 times a week. I have 3 older sisters.
Ooh, that's why you.
What is that exactly? Right. So
that's why you're so catty and snippy.
I was basically raised by 4 women, I mean, when you look at it that way, like seriously. So I'm a super late bloomer. I'm a bit of a puss, and I got a lot of making up to do because I was such a puss as a young man.
Yeah. I don't know if anything developmentally. Interestingly, none of my brothers did sports, so that didn't accelerate my sports career at all. No one gave a fuck about sports. And the only thing we really did to play together or like can come together on, and there was competitiveness on, was video games. That was about it.
What were you good at as a video game?
I was one of the best Halo players in the entire world. You know, these kids are making millions of dollars off of Halo now. If I had just ignored my parents, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. And I'd be driving a Ferrari with like a bunch of women stuffed in the back and an Xbox on my lap.
Anything else besides Halo?
No, you just specialize. I mean, it's cool now because the internet's there and you can really cross pollinate and like pick games so freely. But back in the day, Halo and Call of Duty were really the only things. And Halo was on Xbox, and most people were on Xbox at the time. It was like the most respected unit. I don't know why. It was just like a league, and there's multiple leagues, and this is the most respected league. And Halo was like fucking it.
What
I mean, it was
about 4
to 6 hours a day.
What about World of Warcraft?
No, I didn't really like that first person kind of like, you know, avatar that you built yourself up, because there's just too many aspects to it. I like the raw capabilities of the person who is the best with hand-eye coordination and strategy would win. Not like the person who has like the staff of Gondor and like the chainmail of destiny in my warlock tribe. I'm like, no, I don't like this shit. Like,
what about the current games? Do you play the Fortnite?
no, dude, that's the thing is like I'm so competitive, and I think some people who are at like the top tier of something will understand this. Everybody else will be like, what the fuck? If you are the best at something in the world, you understand how much it takes to be the best at something else in the world, and
Correct.
you don't want to step over and then feel that feeling of just not feeling so great. Like I just did that at the CrossFit Games. I worked my ass off and I got my ass kicked. I experienced it. And I was like, I could spend the next 2, 3, 4 years of my life completely transforming myself to be the best at this, but I don't think the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And we have an Xbox and a PlayStation in the other room, and I've specifically kept the cabinet closed. You can ask Benny, though. Ask Benny and ask him how good I am. We played 2 summers ago when we were in Park City, and I literally like transformed overnight. I become a beast. And I become a very aggressive person, verbally aggressive, because that's also the biggest part of the strategy is like just constantly just skull fucking people with bullets and then telling them how stupid they are.
Do you ever go back and watch the CrossFit Games from last year?
No, I don't know really where to find the footage. I mean, I guess I could type in Hunter McIntyre CrossFit Games, which I have.
You could just type in event 3 CrossFit Games 2019 or whatever.
You know, I'm not happy about the whole thing. I think about it. Literally, I woke up 2 days ago in bed and I was just like, if the ruck was a day beforehand, I would have, one of the events had changed up and the ruck was before the one I got DQ'd on. I was like, I could have been top 10 of the CrossFit Games.
No, dude, even if you did, it's just the handstand thing. If you would just cross the line, right, the first time out, then the next 2 days, well, I mean, you would have got crushed in the weightlifting, but at least you would have made it to the weightlifting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I still to this day do not try to tell people that I would have won the CrossFit Games, but it would have changed so many things, and it like sits there in my stomach. I think the thing that I realized most, and especially I learned it at the Spartan Games, which you guys will see transpire over the next couple episodes. And I just wrote down a list of paper yesterday of just like the 3 things that have prevented me from winning the competitions that I actually stand in. And they're not like, Hunter, you're not fast enough. Hunter, you're not strong enough. Hunter, you're not smart enough. Like there's like certain things that it doesn't matter. Like if you don't have the bits and pieces, you're not playing on the board game with the rest of the players. I have all the bits and pieces, but it always ends up being where for some reason, it's a blessing and a curse. I've got ADHD. I'm really good at doing things with absolute energy, but somehow I always show up forgetting a few key things that would like give me absolute results, the best results possible. And I always show up somehow under prepared. Like I didn't bring the right gear or I didn't do the right studying. Like that's the night before when we went to Spartan Race World Championships and I kicked the bell because I didn't go the night before to the information thing and find out that who changes the fucking rule the night before a world championship that you're no longer allowed to kick the bell? Fuck those pieces of shit. First of all. Second of all, I'm an idiot. And that's always continues to happen to me. And I'm just sick and tired of it. So instead of just spending countless hours in the gym this next year, I'm going to transform my mind rather than my body. And that would have been like, if I had just stopped spending time in the gym and really watched the CrossFit Games a bunch of times while I was training for it, I should have been like, man, I should spend some more time on the AstroTurf because a lot of these events are on AstroTurf. I never did any training on AstroTurf the entire year leading up. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're almost always going to do a handstand walk and almost always going to do a sled on a thing, right?
Yeah, but I spent all my time at CrossFit Sanitas and in my garage gym, and we just like snatched and did chest to bar pull-ups and shit. And I was great at that. Like I got the skills down, but I didn't get it down in the arena that I was going to play it in.
Well, we have to talk about what we just watched.
We have to.
And I am going to describe what I saw. And I am also speaking to Aaron about this, so we'll get his side of it.
Yeah, just give me your absolute opinion, because I read some things on the internet, and before I speak, I just want to know.
Okay. So it's a very far angle, but from the angle that I'm watching, it is what I would call a love tap. And again, I would say that to Aaron as well, like a thing that guys do to kind of bust balls, right? Like not a whack, but like whoosh. Now, would it mess up your concentration when you're running with a bucket? Of course. Is it legal? I don't know, but did it justify a guy throwing a bucket at you? It's kind of like, probably, I would say probably not. So we don't know what the results are. They're teasing us with this DQ or not, or an asterisk, or which I think is bad editing. If you're going to talk about it, you should let us know by the end of the episode. But the question and then there's real quick, I'm going to just, let me finish my thought. Atkins chimes in and says, he's trying to push me in the water. He'll take any advantage you can. We have seen you, throw some bows. I want to know what went through your mind 8 seconds before you did the stomach tap.
What went through my mind is Aaron's a piece of shit. I still think he's a piece of shit.
Oh my goodness. We're not prepared for that answer.
Why? I don't understand why anybody thinks otherwise. Like, just go through space and time and witness the things that he does. I think that he filled in like my footprint in Spartan Race for being kind of like the wild child, but he's just doing a really bad job at it. And I don't even really know the guy that well, but he continues to just really not be a fun character in my life. I witnessed him because he dates Nicole, so he would always end up coming over to my house, and I don't really have a major problem with him, but he just continues to just lean in the direction of just like not being a fun piece of shit. He's just a piece of shit. And I don't like, there's tons of people like that out there in the world, and they have their place and they're designed to do their thing. And people certainly think things about me, and I hold my place. Like, you hold your place, Matt, as like a sassy OCR media man. But you and I have a relationship, and I respect you for the things that you do, and you're a character that plays your part, and you have your intricacies. But you and I have built a relationship. Matt, Aaron and I haven't. And I thought about that, and the dude just, for the past 3 years, has just constantly shit on me. He's like, dude, you suck at OCR. You're washed up. You literally were like, you were good during a time that nobody else was good, blah, 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 blah.
I've seen him say that to Novakovic. I didn't know he had said that to you. I've seen him comment on Novakovic's post like that.
He says that stuff to me. I think people are like completely blown. Like, dude, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, how many of you guys were lobotomized at once, but you guys think that I stepped away for 2 or 3 years and all of a sudden, like, everybody's 5K times dropped by like 2 or 3 minutes? I can come back tomorrow and do exactly what I did for my entire career, and I will dominate you guys. This whole Spartan Race thing has made me want to completely transform who I am as an athlete, come back and destroy the field. And that is what I'm going to do next year, just to remind you guys that I could do whatever I want. That's it. It's not that big of a deal. So that's why I slapped him in the stomach. I was like, yo, welcome to the fucking jungle. This is what's going to happen. And then I beat him by 6 minutes on a course that is just so slow. That's it. That was my whole point. I didn't mean to hurt the kid, and I didn't hurt the kid at all. And he threw a bucket at my back, and there was bruises and scrapes on my back. I didn't complain about it at all. That's his reaction. You know the kids that you'd like punch in high school and then they'd pick up something and like throw it at you really hard? Like that, whoa. That kid's definitely got some kind of psychological.
I didn't throw a lot of punches in high school.
But you know what I mean? There was always a person who ended up doing that who'd like escalate things by like 10x really quickly.
Okay, so let's back up a step now. If I'm watching this show and this thing
There's a
happens,
lot of people who are going to get upset about what I just said, but it's just
it's and again, I'm going to talk to Aaron. We'll get his side. I did offer both of you the chance to come on and talk together. Neither of you wanted to talk to each other, and that's fine too.
Dude, I literally the entire thing that you guys don't catch in this documentary is like this. First of all, it is a documentary where they edited it. We were there for 5 days. What you see on camera is like a microscopic version of what happened throughout the entire weekend. And they specifically contacted us ahead of time, and they're like, we want drama. The first time that we show a little drama and fun on camera, by the way, this isn't a real competition. This is just like the Mike Tyson thing that just happened. It's an exhibition. They created it out of thin air. They inserted us in. They were like, we want some drama, some excitement and stuff. We brought a version of drama and excitement, and they were like, they didn't know how to handle it. My little backhand, I thought, would be funny. We've done these things plenty of times, and it's not the biggest deal in the entire world. It literally happens in every single kind of sport. There's nothing inside the rule books that say anything differently.
So what did the cameras not show between the slap and the throw? And then like you're talking about, people were like, oh, he's talking about lawsuits in this episode. Like they showed that as like a teaser.
Well, they said that as a teaser, but like if you're going to try to, they were like getting so escalated about it. Like it's pretty straightforward. If you're going to dock me some kind of points or do something about it, like you got to really do it right then and there rather than deal with the theatrics of what Spartan Race is going to do. They're like, ooh, maybe we can like stretch it out for a couple hours, or maybe we'll bring in this like interesting side character who's like a new judge. And I was like, just tell me what's going to happen right here.
Wait, what's this? What is this interesting side character?
But that's what I'm saying. They've started doing that through the start of the weekend. I was just assuming that they were going to start inserting different things inside of the weekend as it went on to keep on messing with us.
Well, let's go to the next thing, and then we might circle back. The next thing, the tug of war, and I'm watching the tug of war, and I am like, I did not know how the tug of war. I did not know how any of these events went. Just so everybody knows, right? I have heard a few things. Let me rephrase that. I have heard things. My little beds have told me a thing or two. I had no idea who won the tug of war. I assume the tug of war is between you two. He starts out, and you are this close to the line. And I'm like, holy shit, if he comes back from this, it will be amazing. You do come back from that. It's awesome. You fall back. It's like, whoa, I just watched something cool. And then he's like, oh man, he touched the line. And I was like, what? And then other people are chiming in, he touched the line. And I'm not, in my mind or out loud to myself, I said to my YouTube, if they fuck him on this, I'm probably not watching the rest of this show. Like, well, of course I would, but like, I really hope they don't fuck him on this. And I'm so glad they did not, because then it's basically like, we just hate Hunter. That's basically what the producers would be saying. It's like, we just don't like this guy. So,
well, one dynamic that they're not sharing, and I'm so happy that they edited it out, because I freaked out at that moment. I started shouting because I was like,
well, you said the one good thing was like, you're like, listen, just DQ, just like, if you're going to send me home, fine. Otherwise, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Like, that was a good quote. That was actually from the first one, but go back. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
So these are other rules that they started doing. They're not including in this story. And whatever. I'm not trying to come across as an asshole. I'm telling you exactly how they designed it, and then how they're painting it in this picture is they're kind of skipping over some crucial details. That swim was a 2-lap minimum, or you get DQ'd. Now, you looked at the point structure. If you get the last 2 places, you get 0 points. 0 points is different than DQ. Would you not agree? And they shared that with us, that if you come in the last 2 places, you get 0 points. If you don't finish the minimum amount of work, you're disqualified.
From the whole event?
That's the way they described it. And then afterwards, like, well, we didn't exactly say that. But that guy got out of the water and he was the biggest competition for me. He should have been disqualified from the entire event. I didn't want to see Kurt disqualified. I didn't create that rule. I mean, he could have just literally swam another half of a lap and he would have been able to not be DQ'd, but he decided to get out early. I don't know why, but they just kept him in. And so when they told me I hit the line, that's when I blew up and I was like, dude, this guy's not even supposed to fucking be here right now. Like, he beat a bunch of other people in tug of war when he should have been DQ'd. And now I'm up against him in the championship round of tug of war and he should have been DQ'd and he's still here. And you guys just keep on changing rules on the fly so that this, like, you know, Phantom of the Opera show that we're putting on here can continue to get like the most views or excitement possible. Like, right when we got there that weekend, they tried to insert 2 random people in that were not part of the 24. And I'm sure you heard about that drama.
Well, fill people in for those that don't. Maybe they're new to the show. Maybe they just saw this amazing specimen, Hunter McIntyre, on YouTube, and they're fans of. They want to learn about it.
I don't know, man. I honestly feel like I'm complaining. I feel like this is stupid, and that's exactly what I didn't want to happen.
I just want to get your side. I mean, listen, I'm going to get Morris on too, right? And Morris say what he says. Like, I'm going to get all sides on this.
I don't know. I don't think that the competition was bad at all. I think it was just the 1.0. It was the 1.0, and it was, I don't know. I'm kind of caught off guard. I feel like I'm ranting.
Well, listen. If you get 0 points, you get 0 points. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with,
like, there's a difference between that and disqualification.
Well, here's what the difference should be. I think the only difference for that, if I'm making up this competition, is, and I know we're going to probably get to minimums in other events when it comes to the 3-lap thing, the bike and the run, that if it comes down to a tie on points, whoever has, if you have some DQs, that's lower than just the 0. Like, at least you did the minimum, but you came in last, right? Like, that to me would be the only difference, is like, where if you 0 an event, you're better than the person that didn't do the minimum in an event.
But after that fact, they ended up installing the fact that DQ really meant DQ now. So if you didn't finish your run, now you're really DQ'd. And if you didn't finish your
bike,
they
did say that. So they did say that later.
Afterwards, yes, but to make sure that there was no confusion now. But like, that's the point that I'm trying to say.
Well, here's the question. Morris came in and said, and again, I'm going to ask them about it. And I get, listen, if people think we're being too hard, it's their first time, blah, blah, blah. It's like, listen, it doesn't mean you don't put on a professional event. Yes, it's your first time. And Morris has X amount of years in race production, and he's done, like, I trust that guy a lot. I always have said I really like Morris. It doesn't mean you get a pass on something that should be black and white. Like, can I contest a result? How do I contest a result? Will video be used? What happens if I contest a result against my opponent? You know what I mean? Like, where are that should have all been explained, because he said, well, like anything, these can be contested. I'm like, well, can it? Because if you've got a judge right there and he doesn't call it, you cannot then go back and say it's instant replay, like pass interference. You know what I mean? Like, the game's over. The game's already over. You can't go back and change it.
It was a stressful day. All these emotions coming back up are stressing me out right now. The rest of the weekend was just perfect. We got going. It was good. It was great. The first day was just stressful. I don't know why. I think how did you and Aaron, did you ever, well, I mean, you called them names earlier, but did you ever hug it out? You guys were staying in a little tiny thing the rest of the weekend. We were cordial. I mean, he didn't make it easy, man. Like, I don't care. Like, if we have beef, like, either stop talking or talk positively. That's it. That's it. And it just didn't ever end up seeming like that for the rest of the weekend. And I don't get it. Like, I don't really like the banter of, like, if I'm talking shit against somebody, it should be a real contender. Like, me and Atkins can talk shit against each other because we're always really vying for the same spot. First or second. Aaron, to me, was just like a shitty parrot that was just sitting in a tree squawking. And I was like, I could climb up to that tree and squash that parrot, but it just wasted the rest of my day. And that's how the whole weekend felt. And, you know, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, it's unfortunate that this weekend is like being skewed, or at least it was unfortunate that the weekend started by being skewed in the way that this like level of unprofessionalism and like violence in our sport, where It was a very simple altercation that ended up getting blown out of the proportion for the theatrics of a YouTube show.
Did you care? You watched the show yesterday, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Does it bother you before the tug of war final that apparently most of the competitors were like talking to your opponent about how to beat you?
Dude, that was the whole weekend. Wait until you witness the whole thing. I don't know why. I mean, I guess when you just are a contender at the highest level, there's certain like some people want to just see you fail. Like, I don't know.
Well,
It was interesting because everyone's buddy. And then all of a sudden when I witnessed that and everybody just kind of like piling up on Kurt and giving him information, no one did that for me during the tug of war. And it happened during the wrestling matches too. And I don't know what it is. It's interesting. I mean, like, listen, dude, I live up on top of a mountain in Malibu, and I isolate myself because I recognize that it's a one-man show to get a one-man job done. And when I got there for the weekend, like I completely went there to win. I was giving every effort and every like opportunity I had to win. And I didn't really care what happened. Like everybody who could go over and shake his hand, tie his shoes for him. They were helping him change his shoes out between events and make, dude, like put these shoes on this. I wasn't getting any of that. Nothing. They were like helping like push it back so that he had more time between rounds so that he was more rested. I was like, guys, let's fucking get this thing done. They're like, well, no, take your rest, Kurt. I was like, what, do we need the whole peanut gallery to make him feel comfortable about this event? I mean, listen, if you guys want to, all jump on his rope and help pull it for him. Like it started to get to that point. And then with the wrestling match, the same things happened. And you don't know.
But this begs the question, Hunter. This begs the question about you as a man, you as a competitor. You like excelling. Okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You have the persona, right? Hunter the heel, if you will, to use the wrestling terminology, right? Yeah. And it's like, we kind of know that's not the real Hunter, right? The fun guy, like the goofy guy, you know what I mean? Like the real Hunter is who you are as a person. If you and I are sitting down and having a meal, when the cameras are on, the competitor's on, you got the juices, you got the mane flowing, you've worn earrings, you've grown mustache, you know what I mean? Like, so I guess some might say, well, you can't have it both ways. Like you can't be the heel, but then be surprised if people are like jumping on everyone else's bandwagon. I think you know what I'm trying to ask you.
I mean, listen, it's not the biggest deal in the world, dude. I just, it's interesting. I know all these people on a very, very personal level. Like I can get it, dude. Like when all this stuff came out, you should have seen the internet and all these people being like, Hunter's so unsportsmanlike, he's just an asshole, like reading under the threads and stuff. And I was like, dude, you guys saw something for like 2 seconds on television. You act like you know me. These people I've been racing against for like 8 years. And like, you know, they come over to my house for dinner. They come stay at my house in Malibu. They invite me over to their place. And then all of a sudden you get to see what's going on behind the cameras and stuff. And some of the things are said. And I'm like, this is the true color of certain people. It's just that it's the honest level of certain people. I've invited all of these people into my home. I got most of the people on that freaking competition, by the way. I recruited a lot of people for the Spartan Games. And then all of a sudden it gets there and you get to see some of the character of the people. It's like, whatever, man. If this is the way you guys want to act and you know, this is the way you want to portray yourself and hold yourself, like, so be it. I'm going to be in the same exact position, first, second, or third in every single competition I go to. And whether or not you guys come sit at my table before the event or after the event, it's not going to change my life. That's the way I take it.
We had Corinna Coffin on yesterday. She said the men were very catty. The women were like, whatever, let's go. That was her experience of the games.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
Do you think that's accurate?
I think it was a much more, to be honest, I think the competition between Atkins and I was just like two titans that had been sitting on opposite sides of the map waiting to meet for a long time. So that's why probably the energy was much higher. Without trying to diminish anything, I think certain people in the female side were stretched out. The gaps were much bigger. The men's side was much tighter. There was like much more jockeying for position. And I think there was a lot more emotional energy revolving around that. And it didn't even really have anything to do with the money at that point. Like, we all made tremendous amounts of money in the end.
Everybody did?
Well, I mean, for the most part, if you think about it, like some people there made more money than they probably have in their entire athletic career for a weekend. And
I thought they only paid out 3 places.
they paid out 5. And then there was a team thing, which they didn't even explain in the beginning of the show, which doesn't make any sense. I was like, why did you guys give out an extra $10,000 if you're not going to explain the team dynamic? Like, we're all wearing green headbands. If anybody watches closely, do you see how we're all wearing different colored headbands?
No, I did not. Would you ever reach out?
They threw out $10,000. They just threw away $10,000 on that team thing, and they don't make it part of the episode at all.
Would you ever reach out to an Atkins and say, hey man, like, I thought we were bros?
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that he made that post and was like, tried to like say that I hit Aaron very hard. And I was like, and I wrote on the post last night before I went to bed, I was like, you and Aaron should start writing soap operas, because you guys could really get a great crowd with all the drama that you guys are bringing up. And it's like, I don't understand why his version of the Spartan Games, like, he doesn't involved in mine and Aaron's altercation at all. And the fact that he needs to like write that down to like rib me for some reason, it just, he invited me to his wedding. Like, I don't get why that man needed to make a post publicly about me hitting Aaron. I was just disappointed at him. Like, I don't go out of my way to bash Atkins. Atkins either beats me at something or he doesn't beat me at something. And I don't talk badly about any of these guys. I don't feel that I do. Like, if I'm honest, like you said, what do you think about Aaron? I said, he's a piece of shit. Like, I don't be like, oh, he's a good guy. And then right when I get off the camera, I'm like, dude, he's really a piece of shit. I'm pretty honest. I've always been honest. So that questioned my friendship with him. That kind of disappointed me. Because he always invites me out to his place, and we always have a great time. Like, right when he got done with Fiji, I brought him into my home and then drove him up to Spartan Race World Championships last year. I take care of the guy. So it was odd. So I don't really need to reach out to Atkins. Like, my way of handling this is just, I'm going to stand like an oak tree, as stiff as a board, and go handle my shit. And honestly, I'm just going to lose 20 pounds and just destroy his whole world next year in the Spartan race season. So that's the way I want to do it. I like a couple of years ago when Hobie was quitting, I didn't want to go and do a Spartan race, but the fact that I knew he was quitting, I was like, I'm not going to let him get out on top. So I'm going to show up and beat him one more time. And I did it. And I don't really want to go back and do Spartan races, but I'm going to do it anyways, because this whole weekend just inspired me to do something different. So,
all right, well, let's cover that quickly, and then I will let you go. And I appreciate your time this morning, my friend. You said everyone acts like everyone got faster. The field did get deeper. That's not a lie. That's no disrespect. The field did get deeper.
Do you want to know that we always said, like, you had it on the Ryan and Ryan show the other day, and they said, like, what's the standard of whether or not you're a good pro or not? Like the B listers, the C listers, and all that kind of stuff.
That was just an excuse to rag on Nick Riker, but go ahead.
But there's always a person, and not many people are ahead or behind that same person as the standard of, like, are you a blue chip athlete? Are you a prize pony? Are you a person that's going to go to the Kentucky Derby and have a lot of bets put on them? Those people haven't changed. And that's just my belief in the system. Sure, people have gotten more dense, but it just like means that there's more stones to step on before I get to first, second, or third place again. It's the same thing as always. I don't think anything differently of it.
So if you were to step on the start line tomorrow at the Malibu Sprint, who would you be worried about?
I mean, the same guys as usual. I would probably be worried about Atkins, Hobie. I don't think Cody races anymore, and I don't even know if Hobie races anymore. But if like Albin was there and Atkins were there, those would be the two guys I'd be worried about. But truthfully, like, I'm not in shape to compete against these guys. I weigh 210 pounds right now. That's 15 to 18 pounds heavier than when I was racing last. And then even 2016, I weighed 178 pounds when I raced Spartan Race World Championships. So you guys know there's a big difference. So I got some work to do. Got some fucking work to do, baby.
What are you going to reduce from your diet to lose those 30 pounds? God, it's a lot of weight.
I don't want to lose 30 pounds. I don't know, man. Like I measure everything that I eat. I probably have to spend more time in the mountains. I'm going to have to cut gym sessions down from about 6 to 10 hours in the gym down to about 3 to 4 hours in the gym. And I love my gym. And that's what it's going to take. But you know what? Got a lot of free time.
All right, sorry, last thing. Whenever I say last thing, that always means 10 more things coming. OCR stars. Who won? Is it official? What are the payouts? Because I already forgot the payouts.
I don't know specifically, but I think it's Lauren Weeks and Sergey. People were getting tremendously upset about our judging team. I spent a significant amount of money on a judging team so that no one could reach out to me and try to sway the results. And also I didn't want to have to sit there and look at the results every single day. This business is actually quite a busy business and I can't read results all day long and watch videos. But still, you all right?
Yeah, I'm pulling up Competition Corner and my phone just fell. Go ahead.
We're still doing a lot of reviewing with the judges so that when we cut these checks, they're 100% the people who get the checks. But I think it's Sergey from Russia and Lauren Weeks.
So I'm going to pull this up now using my Transmogrifier share screener. What is Sergey, if he is in fact the winner, what is he going to win? How much money is he?
Sergey's going to win 5,000, Forrest 3,000, Sean is going to make 2,000, Rich Ryan's going to make 1,000, Chris is going to make 500.
And then what about Rich Ryan for winning the mile trial? How much will he get?
Rich Ryan didn't win the mile trial. Nick Mazick did.
Okay, it says won under 6 mile trial.
No, you said who won the mile trial?
Rich Ryan. sorry, my bad. 6 mile trial.
So all the winners are going to make $1,000.
So it looks like the biggest winner is Forrest because he finished twice. He got, no, you only get it if you win.
Only get it if you win an event. So right now it looks like Rich Ryan is going to make $2,000. It looks like Sergey is going to make $5,000.
Right. Let's go to the women. Lauren Weeks.
Lauren's going to make $5,000. Lauren's going to make $6,000.
Sweet.
Yep. Bethany, you guys know the list. I don't see any first place. Oh, over here, Katie Knight is going to make $1,000.
Now, someone did ask me because she was on she's on the Works for Hunter page. Is that going to be allowed?
No, she deserves the money that she gets, dude. She didn't really understand any of the workouts ahead of time, and I didn't really place it on her. And listen, to be honest, dude, guys, this is a charity event that we raise money to give athletes money. She deserves the points that she gets and the cash that she gets. Rebecca, dude, a lot of these pros, if people are gonna really be sticklers, a lot of the pros that I know knew about the workouts ahead of time because I was talking to them about it, being like, what do you think about this workout? What do you think about this workout? And now these people are like, dude, that's so unfair. I'm like, let's call a spade here, guys. You guys knew well ahead of time because I wanted your opinions on what this would look like as a test.
What do you think about, so I just spoke to Lanny and Bethany yesterday, actually. Lanny's a fucking Olympian. She had the world record for Canadians. And she came and was like, hey, I want to win a few bucks. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's really cool, man. I mean, the whole point of the design of this event was supposed to get athletes back out there competing. And the fact that people from completely different sports came in and may be inspired to come in and compete in Spartan races or OCRWC or any of that kind of stuff. That's awesome. That was the whole point of it. I think that really a dream come true would be to see the growth of our sport happen through a vessel like this because it's an easier portal of entry for athletes who maybe are a little bit confused about OCR or how well they could do, or they're a little bit nervous. So now you might see her stepping into some races because she did so well.
Is Richard Bouge Forrest Bouge's dad?
I don't know.
He's number one. He's number 160-year-old.
If I had to guess, it's probably the case.
Dude, female team of 3, the return of your mom. What an amazing team name.
Yeah. Dude, there were some really, really, really cool groups. I am pumped that we did so well. We had a tremendous amount of signups. We got a great level of sponsors in there. Pure Spectrum was the first sponsor to step on. So I just want to say I'm very thankful to Pure Spectrum CBD for helping support another endeavor that I put together. They were the first believers, and they really helped us get this business off the ground. And you know what? There's a chance that there's a 2.0 coming out in the next year, but I don't know yet.
So besides, you mentioned Pure Spectrum. So were they cash or are they prizes? Like, where are the other prizes coming from?
Other prizes coming from.
Is there any other prizes like gear or?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of prizes. Like, we have prizes from Fit Aid. We have prizes. People are winning assault bikes.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Where, like, when will that be listed? Like, hey, third place got this, second place got a case of, Rogue chips.
We are going to basically sort through the whole system right now. Basically start to get, and it's just probably going to take like 2 weeks because I have to go to Germany on Tuesday. But we'll contact all the winners and let them know that we're going to make the connections between them and the sponsor. But just like a base level thing is like every single age group winner gets $50 off a pair of VJ shoes. Like, that's just a discount. So it's probably going to cost you, for what I consider to be one of the best pair of shoes I've ever worn, you're going to save 30 to 50%. That's pretty good. Plenty of people are going to get tons of Fit Aid, assault bikes, darn tough socks, CBD, Bravo Sierra, men's wash and wear. What else do we got? Oh, dude, Bear Complex is sending it out like weight vests, grips, backpacks full of fucking crazy swag. We've got tons of stuff.
You know what I heard? I heard the phrase assault bike is triggering to people, so they're going to start calling them be nice to people bikes.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Be nice to people.
Fucking way.
Be nice to people bikes. That's what you should call it. Don't call it assault anymore. But be nice to people bikes.
Oh, I thought you were joking. I thought you were kidding. Like, honest for a second there. I was like, the world's gone way too soft.
All right. So you're going to Germany.
Yeah.
For the World Fitness of Hyrox.
The runnings, the touching of the ball, the touching of the sleds, then running again. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really happy with the way this podcast went because I was just so frustrated about the way that some of the things went on that weekend. But I'll button it up and say, like, I am very grateful that Spartan Race put that thing on. I'm grateful that I got to share a beautiful chunk of time with some really, really incredible people. Sure, some things happened. Like, do I truly have anything against any of these people? And would I step on their toes if they're at the edge of a cliff? No, I'm not that kind of person. It's unfortunate that Aaron and I don't have a better relationship. It's unfortunate that some of the things just went down the way they did Spartan Race, but I really don't care. Like, whatever. It's one weekend out of my entire life. And now that it's captured and put up on camera for the whole world to like build up thoughts in their head, let it be. But I think there is another opportunity for Spartan Games, and that's going to be sick. I just want to wait.
I just want to say that Hunter is in Malibu. It's 6:49. I can see the sun coming up over the coast of Malibu. Hunter, you are winning at life. That's winning at life.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm pretty pumped. I learned a lot from this year, and I basically kind of was like a baby attached to a bottle with the whole Spartan Race the whole fitness industry and the sponsors I had. And the way I lost everything like that overnight when COVID started, I've completely rebuilt my life. And next year is going to be a very exciting year. I've got a couple amazing brands that are about to launch. OCR Stars is just the start of what is going to be like a gigantic umbrella of businesses that are coming out. And I hope to change the industry for the better, not just for myself. So very excited to share with you guys what's coming out next.
Stoli sponsor? Is that what's coming next?
I would love Stoli vodka.
Hey, real quick. Sorry. I'm looking at the Hyrox here. Oh, that was just USA. Yeah. So it says Hunter, it says Hyrox Frankfurt, February 6th. So where is this December race going to be? Stuttgart?
I don't know why they're not. I don't know if they're not talking about it. It's only 6 people invited, 6 male and 6 female.
But that's even more reason to talk. That's even more reason to talk about it.
Well, dude, that's the thing that's so crazy about these businesses is they always try to do this like top secret.
Oh, I know, dude. Tell me about it. Spartan was like so ridiculous about the Spartan. And I was like, you guys are dumb. I'm trying to help pump this thing up. All right. Is
Yeah,
it Germany? Is it Germany, Munich, or Essen? Where are you going?
I go to Hamburg. So
Leipzig.
like,
Or
we're flying into
Maastricht.
Hamburg and competing in. We're flying to Hamburg and we're gonna compete there. I don't know who the hell is going and what the hell is really gonna happen. I still don't know if this is really gonna happen. But my tickets are booked. I got a new passport. It's great.
Well, listen, I hope you don't get stuck. I hope you don't get quarantined in Germany.
I would love that.
Well, I mean, we want you to come back to America.
I don't know if there's much to do here in America. I don't know if you're witnessing what I'm witnessing, but I feel like you remember that game when you were a kid and they had that big sheet and you'd lift it up and like everyone would run around, and then as it came back down, everyone had to like get down tight in their seat, and then you'd lift it up again. It was like a big parachute sheet and
Yes.
in PE. That's what COVID is like to me. It's like, ah, and everyone's like, all right, we're good for a second. Everyone like runs around like, and they're like, no, everybody locked back down. And everyone's like, down. And the teacher's like, all right, everybody up again. And then everyone's like, so that's what our life is right now. And it's comical. So if I have to do it anywhere, I might as well do it in Germany, and I might get myself a German queen. Who knows?
Are you watching The Crown?
No.
Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Kind of.
Okay, I was going to make all kinds of references. Listen, buddy, I'm going to let you go. Good talk.
It was great. It was great while it lasted. I feel like we learned a lot. And
I'm going to use that quote about the sheet. That's going to be the teaser video because that was hilarious.
Well, dude, I hope that everyone else has nice things to say about me like I had said about them. I can't wait to listen to the podcast to hear more about what other people think about this weekend.
All right, I'm going to talk to Aaron next. I'll let you know.